So it's a seller's market. So if you're a seller, right, like, yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, like everybody wants your house.
Yeah.
Everybody wants your house. If you're a landlord, sell your rental because everybody wants your house, right? Like this is good news. This is the news we've been waiting for years, right? Like market's back, multiple offers. So that means that sellers can just like hire any schmuck and like not do anything to their house and like throw it on the market and they're gonna get $1 zillion, right?
No. It does mean that you can have someone throw it on the market and eventually you're likely to get an offer for sure.
But there's a difference between presenting your house and like launching it on the market like it's the most beautiful product ever and creating a frenzy, like a feeding frenzy of buyers and like putting it on the market and having people go, oh yeah, I guess I can live with that.
Yeah.
Right? Like what is the difference in the quality of the offers that you get when you like get your house ready and do some stuff?
Yeah, so a couple things. One is multiple offers are exciting and they're good, but there are some things you can do to make sure those are good offers.
So if you list your house and you get 20 offers, that's not necessarily a good thing, right?
Right. Honestly, even in this market, if you have that many offers, you either priced it a little too low, which is difficult right now to kind of assess.
Because things are going up so fast.
Right. So you don't want to price it too low because that's a lot of offers to sit and really analyze for your agent and for the seller. I would personally, this is my perfect scenario. I would love, 3 to 5 really strong, good offers over 12 offers, and 6 of them we're not even considering.
Yeah. Because what you have is like, let's say you list your house at 275 and it's really worth 300 and you think, okay, well, we're going to price it a little bit low and like start a frenzy. Well, what you end up doing is you have all those people that are only pre-approved to 280 writing you these really strong $280,000 offers with these like sobbing love letters and like, they're not even in the running, right? Because if, you're bidding it up to 325.
Right.
I mean, so
it is hard. It's hard to determine price. That's honestly one of the hardest things for getting a house ready to launch is what are we coming on at? What's potentially the top that people are probably, because you don't know, what's the top people are probably willing to pay for the house and what's the lowest potentially offers might come in at, and trying to find a good middle ground and not just being like, well, we'll list this house really low because we know we'll get.
See what happens.
Yeah, that's the worst.
I think, first of all, it's a tremendous act of faith on the part of the seller because if your agent isn't doing a good job, you just might end up with low offers. So this takes me to the next part, which is really hiring an agent that knows your community. And I think this is something that you really believe in, something that I really believe in. Our mom just listed her house in a neighborhood that I don't work. And my mom, your grandmother, just listed a house in a neighborhood that I don't work, and I didn't list it. Right? Like I knew I wasn't the expert, and so I wanted her to have an expert. And I think every client deserves, when they list their house, to work with somebody who sells houses in that neighborhood, who isn't just guessing about where the price is going to be.
Because even the sold comps are not catching up right now. So you need to be in this market, making offers, losing on homes, and knowing.
And I think also really well connected with the other agents in the community, because if you can pick up the phone and say like, what concessions did your client do on that? Because if it's pending, the information isn't available to us yet, and that's the real information we need. Those are the buyers that are still in the pool that will be offering on your house. So what were they offering? What can we expect? Like how high did you end up getting? How many offers did you end up getting? And if your agent is, well, first of all, if they're a jerk, nobody's going to help them. Right. If they're from out of area, they won't know even who to call, right? So finding somebody who's a local expert and who's well connected in the agent community is incredibly important.
I agree.
So selfishly, I would say like I've really made it my business to know all the best real estate agents in all the neighborhoods. So I think if you have a house to sell and you're trying to figure out who to sell it to, you should call me and ask me about it. But you're really in it right now.
I like that little
just a little plug. Yeah. But you're really in it right now as far as prepping sellers' homes for sale. So what are the things that people really do need to do? And what are the things they don't really need to do? Sometimes sellers think they have to do all this stuff and you're like, no. That's not the stuff you need to do. This is the stuff you need to do. Like what matters for getting a higher price for your house?
Good question. So one of the things I will say to kind of preface all this is it's really a case-by-case scenario. Where is your house? What are the perks of your house? And where is the house lacking? And can we do anything to kind of give it a little boost? So in general, we're looking at the main systems of the house first and foremost. So is the roof in good condition? Is it newer? Is it kind of at the end of its life? We're looking at the furnace, the appliances, do they work? Are there appliances in there? Is there a way to get an appliance in there if it's not?
Well, and especially because if you're in that first-time home buyer range, like under $400,000, these are going to be lending requirements for the buyers. So making sure that those things that the bank's going to care about, like even if the buyers aren't picky, if their loan can't close because of the stuff that's wrong with your house, let's try to get that stuff fixed.
Right.
If you have the money, let's fix it.
Are there earthquake straps on the water heater?
Such a silly thing, but it's so important.
Yeah, all those things. Then once those things are kind of taken care of, we're looking at how does the interior look? Are the carpets stained? Does the house smell weird? Do we need to get some fresh paint in there?
Get those windows all washed real nice.
Is the lawn mowed? There's a lot of just general maintenance and prettying up of the house that we try to do.
And those things don't cost a lot of money. I think sellers sometimes get very stressed out, like, oh, staging and like all this stuff, like that's very expensive. You can do a lot by just giving your house like a really good scrub and, you know, decluttering, right?
Right. And I get the question a lot of, because everybody hears right now, it's a seller's market, you can sell your house, multiple offers. And I have sellers say, well, do I need to do all this? And I'm like, how strong of offers do you want? And, you know, how serious do you want the buyers to be? Because buyers are still going to be picky about things.
Well, and I also think that the biggest shift that's happened in the real estate market in the last 10 years is that everybody now looks for their house online, right? Everybody's at work, scrolling through Zillow and Redfin and Windermere.com and trying to find their house. And so the agents have responded to this by doing, you know, like good professional listing agents that know what they're doing, take professional photos of every single house and make videos for every single listing, right? Like, so they're really showing the house to its best advantage. So the seller's obligation in that scenario, because your agent is fronting that money, they're paying for the video, they're paying for the pictures. So your job is to make the house look as sexy as possible so that with this professional photography and videography, you know, you're getting showings on your house before the buyers ever even walk in the door.
Very true. A listing video isn't going to look as appealing if it's cluttered and dark and dirty. What's the other thing?
Well, and we remember this when we're buyers, right? Like I get texts from my buyers all the time where they're like, oh my God, can you believe this house? Like they listed it like this. You know, like do they even care? And I mean, the buyers, even though there's like an inventory shortage, I mean, they still have, I mean, this is going to be their home.
I remember recently with a buyer I had, I'm the one that got excited about this house because I knew, I'm like, oh, these photos look terrible, but I knew where the house was at and I had a general idea of what the layout would probably look like when we got there in person. Some of the rooms weren't even taken, you couldn't even see pictures of the rooms. And I was like, we got to see this house. Like, and then she's like, really? Like I sent her the listing. She's like, really? This doesn't look that great. And I'm like, trust me. And the fact that it's been on for more than 2 weeks, like other people aren't coming here because of this. And it was an amazing house.
You do not want to be the person who finds like some super cheap real estate agent or uses your brother-in-law that just got his license, who doesn't know what he's doing, who's maybe coming down from King County to list a house and pricing it wrong and photographing it incorrectly and not having you do the things that need to be done to list it.
I mean, if I have my buyer hat on, I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, totally.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, the thing is this could be a significant amount of money. I mean, we might be talking about a couple $1,000s of handyman work, steam cleaning, you know, to get a house like landscaping to fully get it prepped and ready. And that could be a difference of $25,000 or $30,000 in net to the seller.
You know, the most interest you're going to get in a house is the first like 4 days. I would say is when the most showings happen. So I also have people say, well, I mean, I have money to replace the roof, but let's just see what happens. No, like that weakens your negotiations. Yeah. It gets you less interest from the start.
If you have the ability to make your house the house that all the buyers are fighting over, do that, because this is your market, sellers. Like, don't blow it. Good luck out there.
Good luck. That felt really fake.
It was good. It was good.